Hollywood is always up in arms about one thing or another, and the thing that they are up in arms about lately is, of course, AI, because it's coming for each and every one of their jobs. Almost everyone. It's not just the actors. It's going to be the producers that are going to keep their jobs. Eventually, it's not just the actors, it's going to be the people who do the hair and makeup. It's going to be all these. When you replace the actors, you're going to replace the people that put clothes on them. You're going to replace the people that do their hair, the people that do their makeup. A lot of jobs are going to go down the drain. And this has all kind of come to a head in the last week with the release from the studio of Tilly Norwood, who is the newest rising celebrity in Hollywood, or at least that's what Alina Vandervelden of Sequoia Studios would have you believe, claiming that agents are knocking down the door to hire or sign Tilly Norwood. Now, of course, we covered this earlier in the week, basically with the idea that it's, of my opinion, that the studio wants to hawk their technology, so they're kind of pumping it up to be more than it is. The problem is it was fantastic promotion, and the studios and the unions have all taken the bait and decided to universally condemn Tilly Norwood, who doesn't actually exist. So there were comments from not just SAG-AFTRA here in the United States, but there was the Canadian Performers Union, the UK Actors Union Equity. Emily Blunt had something to say about it. Everyone on film Twitter definitely has something to say about it. But here was the comments that were made from SAG-AFTRA as they condemn actress Tilly Norwood. It says the union is opposed to the replacement of human performers by synthetics. Calling it synthetics just makes it feel like I'm in a Blade Runner movie, which kind of is awesome. I love it. To be clear, Tilly Norwood is not an actor. It's a character generated by a computer program that was trained on the work of countless professional performers. Without permission or compensation, it has no life experience to draw from, no emotion, and from what we've seen, no audiences are interested in watching computer-generated content untethered from the human experience. Well, you haven't been on Brain Rot Instagram or Twitter or any of these places that are talking about these things. I think that as the next couple of generations come forth, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. But I digress. I'll continue. It doesn't solve any problem. It creates the problem of using stolen performances to put actors out of work, jeopardizing performer livelihoods and devaluing human artistry. Additionally, signatory producers should be aware that they may not use synthetic performers without complying with our contractual obligations, which require notice and bargaining whenever a synthetic performer is going to be used.
Synthetic performer.
They love that.
Definitely super Blade Runner.
So then we get this from British Acting Equity has weighed in. They said, Tilly is not an actress. She's an AI tool, or it is in an AI tool. This is not a performer, but what the tool is made up is of performers' work, and we are concerned about where the work has come from, if that has not been given consent from in any way. And, of course, AI-generated actress Tilly Norwood slammed by the Canadian Performers Union as nothing but lines of code. Tilly's existence is nothing but lines of code, wrongfully based and programmed from actual human experience. There is no place in our industry and no use in the humanity of art for replacing performers with synthetics. They're sticking with, across multiple unions, they're sticking with synthetics. Actor rejects any attempt to do so. This was said by Marie Kelly, ACTRA National Executive Director. She says, performers are concerned about their craft, their place in the world of entertainment, and their livelihoods. They have always competed against thousands of other performers for work, but are now faced with synthetic competition. Aside from the fact that synthetic performers don't eat, consume goods, pay taxes, or otherwise contribute to society, they don't engage audiences using human creativity. So they got very existential in all of these cases, which I found very, I mean, it sounds like an actor, right? To get existential about these types of things. It's one of the reasons I've actually said that the movies that are made about AI now are actually the worst thing in the world, because back, in the age of whether it's Terminator in the 80s, which started out as basically like a survival horror in Terminator 1 and becomes an action flick in Terminator 2, it was made with enough distance from the material because it wasn't a newly formed reality. It wasn't something that was on the horizon. There was enough distance from the material that you could be creative without a tinge of fear in everything that you create. The fear that you create is for the audience, not something that's reflective of your own views necessarily, which is why you show me Arnie chasing after you and always catching up to you. That's terrifying. But if the idea here is to say, like, what does it mean to be human? There's a market for movies like that, but it's going to be increasingly less enjoyable to the average everyday person because it's going to be tinged with the beliefs of these people that are creating the movies who are fearful of losing their jobs.
Pop culture junkie.
Oh, go for it. Hold, please. Yes, dance. Thank you.
No dancing.
No
I
dance.
can't dance.
Oh no, you can. You can.
I can.
You of course.
You can dance.
I'm in no position to tell
You
you
can
what
dance
what
if you
can.
want.
I can dance if I want to.
You
Yeah,
can leave your
absolutely.
friends behind.
Pop Culture Junkie says, I predict that the Tilly Norwood kerfuffle will be taught in college publicity and PR classes
Yes!
10 years from now
Yeah.
under how to create an artificial controversy to advertise your product.
That's
Ooh,
exactly.
good point.
So
A very good point.
everybody that I spoke to about this, as soon as it came out, they said this is absolutely 110% a publicity stunt. They made this announcement with these facts about her being like approached by agents at a conference about at a technology conference where they're looking to bolster investment in their brands and things like that. And it's funny because then Emily Blunt got her 2 cents in here. She says, I don't know how to talk about it other than to say how terrifying this is. Are you serious? That's an AI? Good Lord, we're screwed. That is really, really scary. Come on, agencies, don't do that. Please stop. Please stop taking away our human connection. Now, my point, I guess, when I was looking at all this is like, if we didn't go through the bad years of 2016 to 2022 when actors made every political opinion known to man, to everybody out there to roundly condemn anybody who didn't think exactly like them, half of the country wouldn't be primed to tell actors, tough luck, learn to code. And that sucks, and it does, because I, for one, like, I don't think personally I'm gonna want to watch movies with AI actors in it. I complain about drone shots as opposed to helicopter shots because helicopter shots have more movements because it's got an actual person at the helm of the helicopter moving it as somebody films the material. I love that. I think that the human experience is absolutely explicitly needed in the creation of art. But I'm also a realist who understands that you can't halt the movement of technology. This is something, if anybody's ever seen the show Dollhouse, the Joss Whedon show Dollhouse,
Yes,
with Eliza Dushku. Basically, the idea in the show is they figure out a way to copy human consciousness onto a drive and then put it into the brain of blank human slates. They can wipe a person's memory and implant a human consciousness into a person. And one of the entire themes of that is that once it's been invented, it cannot be uninvented. And that's something that the show grapples with. And that's something that Hollywood is going to have to grapple with now because the technology exists. It's growing at a commensurate rate, like the rate in which we did. I was looking at like Instagram memories the other day, and it was something from the early days of this podcast where we talked about deep fake Bruce Willis being sold to like these Russian firms to do advertising, right? And it didn't look that good. It didn't, but it was already happening in 2022. And the growth of this technology in just the last couple of years has been absolutely insane. Now, that doesn't mean that Emily Blunt is going to be out of a job, but it does mean that the Brittany Carreras are going to be out of a job because they won't even have to hire the Hawk Tuas.
No.
They'll just go and they'll get AI actress number 3 to do those lines for those types of things. And it's scary for a lot of them. I understand that. But look, people already don't think very highly of unions. So hearing the unions bluster on about this, the industry as a whole, these companies, whether it's Disney, Warner Brothers, Paramount, they're just waiting out the next contract negotiations from SAG whenever the next union deal is up. And then they're going to find more ways to impart more AI in all of their stuff. They've already admitted in the first article about this the other day that these studios are doing AI, like AI assisted content written and made under strict NDA with the creatives. When you sign on to be a creator at Disney right now, you want to be an animator at Disney, you want to go work behind the scenes there. In your contract, you're going to have to sign away your right for your work to be used to train AI. It's already happening.
Gross.
And there's nothing that can be done about it. And the thing is, we've fallen into this trap because these companies are what these people who in these arts hold up as the ideal. It's what they hold up as validation and as the benchmark. They put their faith in Disney because they believe that Disney gives them credibility. They like Warner Brothers. Well, actually, they don't like Warner Brothers because they hate David Zaslav. But they like working for these big companies because they believe that it gives them as artists credibility. The problem is they don't care about your credibility. They care about the bottom line, which is why artists and creatives have been battling with producers and people who fund these projects since the beginning of time. And that's going to keep going. That you're going to have to find ways to do things differently. And I know that that's scary, but I don't know what to, like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to laugh at you, like, especially if you're not, like, if you're somebody that's tells other people to F off because of what they believe and you've been awful to other people, then I guess F you. But to the people that keep their head down and just do their work and are seemingly watching themselves be replaced, I don't take any great pleasure in that. I don't. And I saw this the other day as well. Actress Tilly Norwood certainly looks a lot like this TikTok influencer named Stella Heenan.
Well, it looks just like her.
I don't know about that. I don't know about just like her.
It's
I mean, I think she looks a hell of a lot
the face
like her.
shape, you know, the nose, the smile.
She's like,
hair. Well,
yeah. So look, it's the end comes for us all, and it's not looking good for Hollywood. They're going to be moving on without you, it seems. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.